only way to expose the truth is to be indecent. Two men might just be indecent enough to do it. Enter a wannabe amateur disc golfer who reads Reddit threads and a fake cowboy who lifts weights. This is Indecent Exposure. It's time to plunge down the rabbit hole with your hosts, Ryan and Sam.
We are.
Yeah, we're good. So kick?
Mm-hmm.
K-I-C-K?
That's how you spell kick, yeah.
Well, you never know, dude. It's like an app. Like they have like a weird spelling or some shit.
A-Y-U-C-K.
It's kick.
Yuck.
S-H-I-T-H-E-A-D. Is shithead here? It's Shatheed.
What is that from? I haven't heard that in a minute.
It's a Vine, maybe?
Dude. So, are we starting this, by the way?
Yeah, it's recording.
So just personal information about myself. Over the past couple of years, I don't know why, but I've been getting fucking bunkles. And they're always like down in the worst regions, which if anyone doesn't know what a bunkle is, it's basically like the biggest zit that you've ever had. And it swells up and it hurts so bad. You know, like when you get like a really bad pimple, like here or something, and like the whole surrounding area also hurts because of all the inflammation. Imagine that, but like 100 times bigger, and it's disgusting. There's so much pus, it's gross. Anyways,
God, dude,
I figured it was because the leather chair that I own for my computer, which I work from home, so I'm in it at least 8 hours a day, if not longer, because sometimes I'll play video games after work. And I was like, dude, I just need to get a nut fan. So I went on Amazon and I hooked it up. And it's literally a fan right below my desk where my legs meet. And it's just like on this little swivel. And it's just on constantly, just right at my nuts. And so it's my nut fan. So I got to turn on real quick because I'm hot. I'm hot from mowing, all right? And now I got to sit in this leather chair, so it's heated up.
Holy shit, dude. The nut fan. He's got the L desk too.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, when people come to my office, they're like, holy shit, how many monitors do you have? Because I have 1, 2, plus my laptop. You can't see the other one. And I don't want to touch my camera because it likes to shut off, excuse me. And then I have my gaming desktop that's basically on the other side, the 90 degree, with my monitor and then a side monitor. So I have 5 screens in here, which I think's, you'd say it's overkill, but for the amount of like work that I do, sitting down, and then when I'm gaming, it just makes sense. You know how nice it is to have 2 monitors now.
It is nice.
It's nice. I can't believe you only had one for like the longest time.
Yeah, it was not.
No.
And then I got a good one.
And you notice how
it's like, why is it still so shitty quality? And it's like, well, it's because it's not meant for.
It's not meant for the $500 computer that you bought from Brandon. That he basically maxed out 5 years ago. So it was an old boy. I don't even know what kind of graphics card he was running, a 1080.
Yeah, it was like it barely met
minimum. Right, most games.
Minimum. Yeah.
So let's talk, because I seriously, when I sent you the text after I got home, I was like, man, I have not laughed that hard in a long time, and I don't fucking camera.
It was a silly time. It was a silly goose time.
Like those guys or what? But yeah, I don't laugh that hard with like with Brandon and those guys. I'm camera, dude. I swear.
Why is it just like if you touch it, it fucks off, or what's the diagnosis here?
I don't know, but it's annoying. So
yeah.
It is what it is. Went out there. That was, oh my gosh. So go.
Oh, we lost Sam. There he is.
My camera's flickering now. I wonder if it's something to do with my nut fan.
It's taking too much
Yeah,
power.
it might be.
Oh my god.
Because my camera is like flickering like the light. Let me turn it off and see if that's the diagnosis.
It's gonna be hilarious if it is. Yeah, what episode is this? 22?
I don't know.
I think you're episode 22. We're off to a just
yeah. You
brilliant
figure
start.
after what, at least 30 hours of oh no, I'm recording that. Oh, my camera might just be chalked. This episode's chalked, boys.
Oh my gosh. Hey.
All right.
And there he is. He's
I'm
back.
boys.
Pixelated.
Is it?
and
Oh, it does
least-
look like shit, doesn't it?
It's fine. We can see you though. It's fine. Oh.
It's gonna have to be, man. I'm gonna see if I can
Yep.
fix this real quick. But
Actually, it's good now. It looks good now.
Oh. Yeah, all right. Took its time to like render and whatnot. You doing okay?
Yeah, dude.
All right, so where did we go again?
Oh man, we went to Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville.
Went on the bourbon hunt
That's
on the trail.
fun. And what were the choices that you got to pick from for the bourbon places? Bourbon.
So we went to primarily Frankfurt, which was Buffalo Trace, Woodford, Castle and Key, which is the hat I'm wearing.
Mhm.
And then Four Roses. And then also we could have gone to Lexington. I forget what's over in Lexington, but there's some
I think Makers.
there's some ones
Makers is over there.
Yeah, I think we also went to Bardstown, went to Willett.
I think you chose three really good, or I guess technically four. Castle and Key was absolutely insane.
That was the coolest.
It was the
distillery
best.
we went to.
I don't know like how much history is there, but it was dope. Legit castle.
Yeah, legit castle. I would say Buffalo Trace was just like historically the coolest.
It was. I liked it.
because it's like it's got the old firehouse in the on the
The black
compound.
buildings were pretty neat.
Yeah, and learning about the mold and everything from the
Yeah, I asked the guy on the way in. I was like,
barreling.
"Why?"
Lee?
Yeah, I was like, "Did these buildings burn down?" And Lee's like, "Oh no, that's just from the bourbon, the fermentation process. It's all the like gunk that it builds up." And I was like, "Cool, dude. Can you like lick it?" And he's like, "I wouldn't recommend it." And when he said that, I was like, "So you've licked it? Because if you wouldn't recommend it, how would you know? You're not giving me any indications." That was fun because I had to take a shit the moment I got there, and I couldn't for like 30 minutes. So
yeah, because we had to go straight up. We had to go straight up to the tasting.
right, it was started immediately, and then we drank our stuff, which only like the only poor time about that was the amount of time I was there for my tasting was like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, that was kind of the for me. It was kind of the only disappointing thing about Trace was I didn't feel like that. Like we went to Woodford. Woodford was like a real deal tasting. You know, like they taught you how to nose the bourbon and everything.
yeah,
And all the different elements that you're looking for in each different whiskey and bourbon.
right.
You know? And it felt way like more orchestrated.
Like they knew what they were doing, and like it wasn't their first time.
Yeah. Buffalo Trace was like, here's what we got today. This is what we're going to try.
Yeah, you got in line, and five
Here it
minutes later,
is.
you're done. And
And some random fucking guy steps in our tasting.
acting like he knows.
And we're like, who the fuck is this guy?
Acting like he knows everything, and he's like, "Oh yeah,
fuck off,
don't you
Jeff.
really distill it for like X, Y, Z amount of times? And isn't the difference between bourbon and whiskey the barrel that you put it in?" And you're like, dude, who are you trying to impress? Stacy ain't impressed with you. She's got to go through 500 people today.
She works here, bro. I think she knows how it works.
I mean,
all right?
dude's trying to impress. I'm like, I think what she asked him, she's like, how do you get there? But we were talking about bourbon to a certain degree.
She was like, how'd you get here? Meaning like, what brought you here?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Here? And the guy goes,
and he's like, I just took 65 highway from
I'm
Indiana.
from Indianapolis. And she's like, so what brought you here? And he goes, well, you just take 64 all the way up to Indianapolis. It's only like 2 or 3 hour drive. And she looks at him like, yeah, no shit.
Shit.
Probably the closest, biggest town to Louisville in another state. And it literally wasn't. Yeah. So I was like, this.
Don't you feel fucking stupid,
right.
Jeff?
So then I had to go.
I
really had to go shit. So I found a bathroom, thank God. And I gave you my chocolate, right? And I'm like, oh, this will be perfect because I don't like chocolate. Deb can have it. It'll be good, like little souvenir for her. So before I get to that part of the story, when we go and eat at the fire. Oh, by the way, before we get to that too. So we go out into where they hold all the barrels of whiskey or the bourbon at, and no one's at the place where this like secret door is. Kind of like it felt like Hogwarts to a degree, you know.
Yeah. That was weird. We wandered into a warehouse.
And we just opened the door, and there's all the barrels. So we like walked all the way down, kind of like did our own self tour as you wish. And when we got out, I looked back at the door, and above the door there's a sign that says, anyone not with an employee is subject to get kicked out at any time. And but a minute later, an employee walks up and he's like, is anyone in here? Why is this door open? And so we really lucked out, not getting kicked out of Buffalo Trace.
Right, we don't know. I'll do it again. That was cool though, because it was cool. It was super dark and damp and cool, and they had all the different barrels with the different, barreling dates on it, and the different types of product. It was cool to see the process.
I was disappointed they didn't have was it Pappy? What's the
Pappy Winkle? Yeah, it's an overrated bourbon.
Well, what was the stuff that you were going to get that your dad told you?
Bland's. I want to get Bland's. Bland's is their really good
I haven't been able to think of it. Those are like $300 bottles, aren't they? Or is that too
I don't
steep?
Maybe. Well, it depends. Maybe like a 15-year or something like that. Something that's a little more aged. But I know like I think maybe their 10 to 12 is probably like 80.
Oh, okay. So
like 80 to 100.
Not bad. That's, I mean, for
no, like a higher end bourbon.
It's a good bottle that you'd give someone on like their wedding day or something,
Oh yeah.
Or like for their birthday, you can give them like a half bottle of whiskey, Japanese whiskey.
Suntory.
Be a really good gift. I'll wait for that other half someday. Okay, buddy.
Sorry, I forgot.
Ryan, for one of my birthdays over the past couple of years, this was when Ryan wasn't in the best of places. Not saying that we all don't go through them, just work wise and whatever. And just say, dude, that's when I was broke. You're broke. Out of the kindness out of your heart that you probably couldn't even afford it. You're like, here's my like $60 or $50 bottle of whiskey that's also half drinking, which I was like, man, that's so nice of you. That's a really nice whiskey. But I'm also like, it's half drinking, but I'll take it because I didn't have a half bottle of this nice Japanese whiskey before. So
it's a little oxidized, right. But it'll be all right.
So then we had the most mediocre burger in the entire world at Buffalo Trace. What I'm expecting, this place is making millions of dollars. Like, if you're going to have a food court where you're just basically catering and barbecue, you can do better than that. I know you're not going to Buffalo Trace being like, I need some good food. But if you're there for 3-4 hours and you want something, and the gal's like, you got to try this barbecue. It's like one of the best in Kentucky. And I'm like, lady, we're from Kansas City. It's a mecca. Don't
act like you know barbecue.
Yeah. And every time I've had barbecue elsewhere, it's so disappointing. And I think I was explaining to you, like when I had Texas barbecue for the first time last year, it was so like, I was like, what is this hot garbage?
It is
Put
so
some
bland,
spices
dude.
in this. What are we doing with this salt and pepper bullshit?
I know, dude.
They're
We're
like,
gonna
you
smoke this
really got to
nice
taste the meat.
brisket.
I'm like, yeah, I like meat. I also like flavor.
Yeah. They're like, well, we put mustard on it.
As a binding agent. Doesn't
Cool.
even taste
Yeah,
like anything.
yeah.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah. They're like, but look at the color of it. Yeah, it's
Cool.
good color
It's
with no
black.
fucking taste. It's just brown and
Right.
tasteless.
Like I know.
Fuck you, Texas.
Yeah, Texas.
Yeah.
I actually like Texas a lot, but
so do I. But their barbecue is so
It is.
overrated.
But
yeah, dude. I think from the beginning we drove, which
wasn't a bad drive.
not a last. Yeah, it was. I know. David wanted.
I'm sure he did.
My best man wanted to fucking fly, and I think driving was a better experience.
It was
just because it was
a little bit more intimate. We got to know each other because I'm gonna be honest. I've seen David on 2 other occasions. I don't know any lick about him, and JP as well. I don't know anything about him. The only time I've ever seen him was at your guys' paramedic graduation thing. And I guess the when we got announced as groomsmen. But yeah,
you guys came. You came to my engagement party, didn't you?
yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess so.
That night was a fucking blur.
I'm
for
sure
me.
it was. I mean, there's like 7,000 people there, dude.
No, I mean I was fucking shit
Were
house.
you?
Yeah, dude.
I probably. Well,
Shit
did you? Was it just to ask her because you were nervous, or was it just like?
No, it was more so like the way that I'd planned the proposal out was I was gonna, obviously wait for her on the rooftop. The Lowe's Hotel actually gave me a free bottle of champagne, which they didn't have to do, which was cool. So we drank the bottle of champagne with her 2 friends, with her now engaged friends that came and brought her here.
Cool.
Yeah, and so we drank that, and then when we got done with our pictures, we went back down to the lobby or the bar. Lowe's Hotel is a really nice hotel bar, like super nice. And so we went down there, and we had to kill some time because the engagement party was a surprise for her. And so I was trying to, buy them some time to get everyone there and whatnot. And so we had another shot and a drink. And then we got escorted over there. And then we drank all night, all fucking night.
Yeah,
dude.
because I think I ended up leaving it just before it got dark. So probably 8 or 9. Go ahead. Sorry.
Maybe.
Because I didn't know anyone there, dude. The only people I knew was the people that I met there, and I was just like, "Don't leave me!
Yeah.
I don't want to mingle anymore.
I don't want to socialize with people." Yeah. Yeah, dude, I was fucking shit house that night. It was great.
Holy shit! I'm looking at pictures.
Yeah,
right
dude,
now.
it was awesome.
I spelled it like Lowe's, like the Home Depot equivalent.
Yeah, it's LOEW.
Yeah. Anyways, that is a really nice place. Holy cow!
Yeah, dude, it was a perfect spot. I was kind of scrambling because initially what I was going to try and do is get her to agree to a friend photo shoot with our photographer.
Bro, can you imagine just going to town?
Are you streaming right now?
I'm just sharing my screen, just showing Lowe's.
Oh.
But can you imagine?
Oh yeah,
just you're right here doing just very good things. Anyways, I'll stop.
Okay.
I didn't just
okay.
Take it out. Just take it out.
Anyways. Yeah, I was gonna set her up for a photo shoot, and then her friends were like, "Well, isn't she gonna be how are you gonna surprise her with doing that?" And I was like, "I don't know." And then they asked her, "How do you want to get proposed to?" And she goes, "On a rooftop." And I was like, "What the fuck? Now I gotta go find a random ass rooftop to do this shit."
Yeah.
And luckily, Lowe's was like, "Yeah, man. If you come at this time, we'll make sure you get it done."
Why was I thinking you did it at Boulevard?
I think maybe Boulevard was one of the places I was looking at. There was there was 3 rooftops.
Might have, yeah.
But yeah, dude. So that brings us to the old Louisville
The
Drive,
Louisville
which I
Drive.
can't believe David drove fucking 16 hours.
Yeah, that's a lot of driving for anyone driving.
But he likes to drive.
I do
dude. He
too.
likes
I'm
to
that
drive.
same
It's his thing.
person. Like Deb wants to switch when we're going to Texas, which is about the same 7.5 hours. I will drive the entire time if I can, but she likes to drive too because she gets bored, which is understandable. If I had to sit in it'd be a passenger princess for 8 hours. I'm like,
That was me.
I dude, sitting in those back seats. So there's no comfortable car that you can sit in, other than the captain seats for that long before you're uncomfortable. And also, I don't think the seats were bad because it was in a really nice truck. This is the Denali GMC Gay Men's Club, Denali
Gay Man Chevy,
and great truck. But I had literally just thrown out my back like 3 days before this trip ended. So I'm like, oh, I can't wait to sit in this truck for 7.5 hours with no lumbar support. I'm finding like my water bottle, a can of like dust, air, or anything that I can put just like support myself a little bit. And I'm just sitting.
Yeah, use my fucking root beer.
If you would have had a camera on me, just in the dash, this is me. Just every 20 minutes, just shifting back and forth. I'm all good now, by the way. Thanks for asking.
I'm glad you're doing good.
Went to the chiropractor and he broke my back, so I feel good. Great.
Damn.
No, it felt really good. He fixed me up.
I'm good. Glad you're fixed.
100%. So when we're leaving Buffalo Trace, which David setting this thing up, I thought was really cool. So we didn't have to take like this big old party bus with, random strangers, just us four and this driver.
Mm-hmm.
This driver, Joel, and he was fantastic. And he was kind of
Cuban. The Cuban
kind of had a little broken English, but he's only been in the country for like, what did he say, 7 months, 6 months? 9 months?
9 months. He's been here 9 months.
And he said he didn't know, hardly any English prior to coming. And this guy is like fantastic. And I go up to David and I'm like, hey, dude, what's the driver's name? Because he told us early on and I completely forgot. And he says, Pablo.
Yeah.
And I'm the most gullible, I'm like, everyone's always telling the truth. You could tell me anything. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So he says his name's Pablo. I'm like, okay, cool. Get in the van. Not 20 minutes later, we're talking, or 5 minutes later, we're chatting. And I'm like, hey, Pablo. I don't even know what question I asked. And he looks in the rearview mirror like, is this motherfucker talking to me? Call me Pablo?
Yeah.
And David just starts busting out laughing. He's like, you dumbass, his name ain't Pablo. And even you were like, his name's Joel. And I'm like, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, we were like, did you fucking call him Pablo?
And this motherfucker's probably thinking I'm the most racist piece of shit that he's ever met.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm just gonna throw out some, Hispanic name and just call him, yeah, what's up, Jose? Good thing is
that was fucking great.
I just kept calling him after that. Well, I didn't say Pablo anymore. I think I started calling him by his name, Joel. I think.
I fucking don't remember. I hope you did because that's fucked up, dude.
You're right. Well, and then I had to remind him. I'm like, hey, my wife's Mexican. Like, it's all good. And
we're brothers.
We're brothers. Oh no, he had a really good. He had a good spirit. Like, dude just laughed it off, and he was like, man, your friends are assholes. And I was like, they're not my friends. Thanks.
Friend.
Yeah.
David is the asshole.
Right. So that was really fun to get pranked on that. Then we went to Woodford. Woodford, yeah, you're right. It was like good. It was classy. You walk in, they're like, let's have a good, genuine toasting. And they sit you in this room that had like a U-shaped table. There's 5 glasses or 6 glasses of tastings with a little chip on each card. And so,
yeah, a little coaster.
Yeah. So walk us through that.
Cool.
Because that was a pretty cool experience.
Well, so once again, we roll up to Woodford and we're talking. We meet the security guy out front, and he's like talking to us, and he goes, "Hey, you can't fucking smoke here." And you're like, "What?" He's like, you have to go all the way over there in that handicap spot and smoke.
Yeah. It's only like
All right.
40 feet away, but
Like, all right.
Ryan's like, what are you doing, dude? You just roll up and you're like smoking on the front doorstep of Woodford like you own the fucking place.
Yeah, dude, this ain't fucking Gladstone,
This
bro.
ain't
Like,
this ain't the Northland, bro.
this ain't the Northland, bro. You can't just do whatever the fuck you want.
This is
Smoke wherever you
Overland
want.
Park. We actually have smoking ordinance.
This is fucking Woodford Reserve, dude.
The probably the classiest place that we.
Dude, it was very modern. I felt like a very modern.
It was cool. It was
experience. They had the fire. They had the fireplace going inside, and
yeah. And so we're doing the tasting, right? It's fantastic. My dumbass. I'm
boys are
kind
here.
of stupid, and I get curious, so I'm just sitting here listening to the girl. Anywho, we're about the fourth glass in, and I'm like, man, these tables are weird because I've been twisting it to like kind of center the next rotation in front of me, and I'm like, is this on like a little like a top
Lazy Susan?
Yeah, perfect. And so I go to lift the thing up, and my hand slips, and I knock a glass over. Everyone's looking at me, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, I don't know how that happened. And she's like, oh, good. You're just going to double down. I got you. You can take this one. It's empty. And I was like, cool. And everyone, all three of you are just like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? We can't bring you anywhere at all.
Well, it's not like it's, it's not like everyone's talking to each other. So there's like distractions, right? It's one person
Literally
talking.
all eyes on me. It was so embarrassing.
It's one fucking person talking, and then you tried to, whatever reason, lift up your fucking tray of whiskey.
I thought I could do it, man. I thought I was good to go for it.
And then fucking there it goes. Here we are. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey guys. We're over here on this side of the table.
Look at us.
If you guys didn't notice, here we are.
Yeah.
God.
It was embarrassing. So,
yeah, but Woodford was cool, man. Cool. I liked the tasting. I like how she taught everyone the three sip rule, nosing the bourbon, and then
when we went to Four Roses, I was like, look at these amateurs just gulping it like some peasants.
Yeah.
Of course, you guys would like this place. You buy your $20 bottle of Bourbon.
Yeah, that's the presentation is given by a fucking 17-year-old.
Yeah. Castle and Key was cool though. It was only like a mile down the street, and
that was the most fun though.
It was.
We had a fucking blast at Castle and Key.
Yeah.
I think for us that's kind of where the tide turned. That's kind of where we started getting a little
loose. Getting a little loose. The drinks at the first two places, well, I guess they didn't have cocktails at Buffalo.
Trace didn't have
which is crazy. But Woodford, it was $17 a drink, and you got a soup.
It was good. I mean, I enjoyed my old fashioned.
Legit. I mean, the most probably legit old fashioned. The guy making my drink is like making a fire with the stir stick, and I'm like, dude, just twist it like this. But no, he's taking two hands and rubbing it like a stick in the woods. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Did you take your little cup home, your little memento?
I don't remember. I think I did.
Yeah.
I think I did.
That right?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was like a little mule, mule
dude,
glass.
I kept that shit. Dave was like throwing it away, and I asked JP because we were cleaning, Airbnb out, and he's like, I don't want that shit. I was like, it's pretty cool, dude. How many times can you say you've been to Woodford and have proof?
Yeah.
So I kept mine.
And he went to the bar. Proof of the bar.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't remember. I need to check if I kept mine or not.
You should look that up.
But
and then
you should look that up.
Four Roses was cool. It was very like stylish, like a Spanish villa, if you would, with the cool shingles. The like what are those shingles called? They're not copper. They're like ceramic.
I think you're ceramic.
Yeah. So that was cool.
I think you're what they are. Yeah. No, I mean Four Roses was cool. Like we got there like literally right at the start of the tasting. So of course, like they're giving the presentation as we walk in and
so you were late too?
And of course we all were late. Yeah. And of course it wasn't like we all came in at one time. It was like JP and I went in there and then you came in, or no, then David came in And then you came in. So like 3 different times we had to fucking interrupt this presentation because we were late and to open the door.
Like, this fucking idiots, man. Because I had it pissed.
And it's not like and it's not like the door is like quiet, right? They have to like fucking like unlock it and shit. It's like it's like, here we are. Hey.
That's exactly right.
Oh, are we starting the presentation now?
And I'm like looking around for a seat.
We didn't sit near each other.
Yeah, none of us except for you and David. And I like look behind, and you guys are like, "You fucking idiot! God, you're so fucking stupid." And I'm like, "What?
Fucking
I had to go
Woodford
piss,
Part
dude.
2.
Yeah, no kidding. Don't bring me on any trips ever again.
Nah, dude, it's all good. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Four Roses bourbon. Like, to me, it's.
If you want to get into bourbon and you don't want to spend more than $25, go get Four Roses. I think it's the best tasting cheap bourbon other than maybe like Jim Beam.
I think their small batch is probably the best.
Yeah, and that's what everyone voted was that $37 bottle one.
Yeah. To me, the bourbon had like it was too much. Too much rye.
It was very pungent.
Very rye. I don't like that they use like 30 recipes. They're like, well, for this bourbon, we use 27 recipes.
You're like, chill for one.
You're like, dude.
Well, him explaining the bourbon pyramid. So they had a bourbon pyramid. Imagine, and it was like 5 different barrels at the bottom, and then imagine a pyramid. So one was at the top, and he's like, look at the board, and I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at, dude? And he's like, do you see the letters EVGAV? And I'm like, sure. And he's like, well, this batch was made with EVGAS, and this and there's like 80 different combinations, and I'm like, bro, I am not here to do math or just tell me what's in it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Relax.
Fucking high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just graduated high school. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then what happened at the bar later? Because after the presentation, what happened to your shirt?
Oh, that's right. No, that happened at Castle and Key.
Oh, yeah.
We were at Castle and Key, and like,
oh, that's right.
Kind of started getting a
little rowdy, and
I was on my second rye chai, which is like
it was
not
delicious.
an espresso. It's like a coffee. Yeah, it was like an espresso rye. Yeah, and fucking David, I'm single file following him out of the fucking bar. He decides, oh, I'm gonna stop right here for a moment and then keep going. And like he turned around, ran into me, spilled my shit all over my shirt. And I was wearing like a blue shirt.
It was a nice shirt. Like, it looked lovely.
Yeah, it wasn't like a black shirt, that you can just hide a fucking liquid stain. So I spilled it all over me. And then the bartenders were like, hey man, you might want to put some water on that.
Stained immediately.
Like, give me the
stained me. You look like a I'm not gonna let that thought out.
I look like a fucking 5-year-old dude. And then we go to the fucking gift shop. I'm buying my hat and the bourbon, and I'm looking at the lady, and I'm like, she's kind of like looking at me. Like, yeah, I could tell there was this big distraction on my shirt that she was looking at, and I was like, I know I spilled shit on my shirt. All right. And she goes, that'll be blah blah blah. I was like, all right, I'll fucking leave.
Yeah, that was.
But that place was cool as fuck,
so
dude.
Cool. And just Google Castle and Key and just look at the photos. The place was legit. Oh my god,
it was legit.
What's happening with my hair again, dude? I'm raw.
Here we go, Eddie McCracken. Ernie McCracken. Damn it!
It's just the front of my hair. The rest of my hair is fine, dude. It's fine. We're not looking at it. No one look at it.
Fixed it.
We're fine.
You fixed it. We're fine. You fixed it. But yeah, dude, then we went to Four Roses, and then I made David buy me a shirt.
It was a good shirt.
And I changed at the bar.
It was a good shirt.
It was a good shirt.
We went home and then ordered pizza and just watched hockey and basketball that night.
Yeah, it was great. No? No, we went to the fucking nightclub.
Oh my god. Yeah, so
Yeah, dude, the
after
fucking
boozing
nightclub,
for
bro.
basically what 6 hours. Also bought a bottle of Four Roses there because I was like, what? It's the cheapest bottle I can buy. So we're all taking pulls on the way home. And luckily, our
Gagging on the way home.
Pablo or Joel drove us back to our place, which was nice because we had to drive. We had to
Yeah, that was
get an
cool.
Uber to go meet him in a car that was only like a couple miles away.
Yeah, past the soup kitchen.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. All right, everyone has their struggles. All right, you were almost there.
I'm just
You were
saying.
almost there, buddy. You had to come live with me. All right.
That wasn't for that reason.
You're the next closest thing to the soup kitchen.
I wasn't.
Yeah,
that's not why I came to live with you.
I'm kidding. But
Piece of shit.
You went to live with Cody, right? That was that transition period.
Yeah.
Yeah. So David's like wanting to go out and do stuff, and I at this point I wasn't like drunk, but I was definitely feeling pretty good. We got some. JP orders $100 worth of pizza, and I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, I'm not paying you for this. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I didn't pay him. I kind of feel bad. I should probably pay him.
Damn, dude.
$100 worth of pizza, which he gets a pizza, and it's like he's like, I got 3 larges, and I'm like, for 4 guys, okay, that might be fine. These pizzas were like 2 feet wide in diameter,
dude. Normally a large pizza is 14 inches, right? 14 to 16, I would say. I think those were like 24.
They were massive.
Because the next size up was 30.
There was another size after that? 30 inches, dude. I couldn't even fit that through the door frame.
No, dude, remember when the three of us, remember we all went back home and
wait,
you're like, do you want some pizza?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and you brought me like the fucking most massive slice of pizza.
Slice was at least half of my monitor, as large as that. Like the bottom width was this wide.
It was a quarter of a large. Like it was probably a quarter of a normal large pizza.
It was if you ordered a large Domino's pizza, it was at least half the pizza. So
you're like, here's your you're just laughing in the kitchen. Here's your slice of pizza, dude.
Like just some evil scientist just cooking up the microwave pizza for you. It was good pizza, but I'm like, dude, we're in Kentucky. Why are we not having fried chicken? Which the night before we went to this dog bar.
Oh God!
And we ordered some food. No one's feeling it because we just we just drove 7.5 hours. Dave wants to go out, which is fine for dinner. I get it. And
the passengers drank the entire time.
Yeah, we were all feeling pretty good by the time we got. This car ride that should only take 7.5 hours took us at least 9 because we're stopping every hour after we started drinking. And first beer was cracked at 9. I think 9 o'clock in the morning. Is that right? A White Russian.
I didn't drink a White Russian.
No, you didn't.
See, that's why I got to stick to the hard liquor, man. Beer just fucks me up.
Yeah,
just weird.
I just got to stick to the hard stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm fine.
Okay. All right.
I was at the fucking bar, dude, and I was like, I was trying so hard not to fucking throw up at the bar.
Yeah. And I ordered this fish and chips, and I'm thinking it's just going to be like a nice little piece of cod, right? Fried up. She brings me out a pound of fucking cod, deep fried. And I go through one, and I was like, oh my God, this is like an insane amount of food. And it was only $16, so like I got my money's worth. But I paid for everyone's
$1 a pound. Yeah,
I paid for everyone's dinner, and I got the bill, and I was like, it's only $150. No big deal. Oh, shit. I just saw Bailey in the background on your phone, and I was like, what the fuck, Deb?
Is she there?
Yes. Hi.
That's really scary.
It was frightening.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were going to turn around.
Scared the shit out of me.
Are you
He's scared. No, I'm just FaceTiming him because he can't see me on Discord.
I'm confused. Are you recording something?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, bye.
Bye.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
Anyway, so yeah, so Saturday we go. We ask our our Joel, what's a good place to go out? You know, nightclub, and he's like,
No, that was Friday. This was Friday.
you know, shit. Yeah, you're right. This is after bourbon all day.
This is after.
And he's like, oh, you got to go to this Latino bar called The Hub. And I'm like, The Hug? Like hug. And he's like, no, The Hub. It's where like all the Latinos go on a Friday night. And I'm like, great, we'll fit in. And I was like, dude, this has got to be like a gay bar or something, which I'm not opposed to at all. And because
no, but I mean, it's not my scene.
it's not my scene. But I've been to a gay bar. It's fine. I've had good times. You know what? Getting hit on by another man is a confidence booster. It's like I still got it, you know? Because anytime I go out anymore, I'm like, Deb, I got another guy's number. Like I never get another girl's number since like college. We get there, the first guy that we see, because I was like joking that it was a gay bar. The first guy we see is the fucking
flamboyant. He's very
flamboyant.
He's very nice, but flamboyant.
Just dude with handkerchief and like around the neck, like Fred from Scooby Doo. And I was like, okay, this might be a gay bar, which is totally fine. There's like no one there. We got it at like 7:00. I meet this guy named Chuck, and he's his girlfriend's from Kansas City, so I was like, immediate connection. He worked there.
He was security, right?
Yeah.
Bouncer.
And we get some drinks, and dude, I ordered a drink from this bartender, and this was 90% gin. It took me an hour to drink this one drink. It was crazy. So I was like, okay, it's like
their drinks were heavy on the alcohol. Dude.
It's like a college town, so I get it. It's how it was in Columbia. And
heavy.
It's 2 hours past, probably 10:00, and I think you and JP were checked out. I was still kind of like mingling and like, you know, trying to make David happy, but I was like, I'm tired of shit too. I just want to go back and chill. Anyways, so we all go back after a couple hours, and like, yeah
we were fucking.
We were just for us.
That was such a long day.
We just weren't in the right demographic for what that place intended, and it was a great time. I had a great time. I tried to talk to some people, but there was a language barrier, if you know what I mean. And so I said, this probably isn't our scene. Let's let them have their time and whatnot. So end up going home, cap that off for the night,
and had some
pizza
and watched Women's College World Series.
Yeah, that was like the best, dude. I'll tell you something. I don't care because Deb listens to this, but girls in softball pants, damn. Because playing baseball in high school, I know you played in college, but girls always say there's nothing better than a man in some nice baseball pants. Which I'm like, I play football too. Like those things were skin tight. There's nothing like you could hide with baseball. You know, some people had it all the way down to their cankles. I was old school. I had it up to my knees, and that's it. And I was like, ain't no way. But then I realized I have no ass. And so I wasn't the target demographic on those sayings.
You and David.
Straight from our back right Assless. To our knee pits, dude.
There's a fucking ass kleptomaniac.
So
crazy.
That was fun.
Still looking for him. It was fun, dude. And then we went to Bardstown. Saturday went to Bardstown,
and
which was kind of a buzzkill during the day. But then luckily my dad saved the day and told us to go to Willett. I remember that was the reason he wanted to go there.
Said to go there.
Yeah. So Willett was dope.
We had a great time. If anyone doesn't know what Willett, it's the whiskey that's shaped like a Erlenmeyer flask. Real skinny.
Yep.
Has a big like booty for the
A bulb,
bulb.
if you
Yeah,
will.
probably be a better description.
It's a pot still whiskey, so it tries to emulate the pot
Oh, that
still.
makes sense. Yeah. Which,
Yeah.
well, it's not like terribly expensive. $50, I think you can get.
No, it's a
And
really
it's-
good. It's a really good bourbon for its price.
I think so too.
Really, really good.
Those drinks were not
Really,
cheap.
it's like an easy everyday. No, they weren't. And they were not. And their drinks were really good.
They were. Oh, and then we met these like guys, and David, of course, because he's a salesman. And I see through all of David's bullshit. And I think I don't know, but I go take a piss. I come back, and he's met this like other group of bachelors, like 10 guys. And I walk up to the bar, and I'm like trying to like chat with them too. And one of the guys is like, "I'll pay for your drink. I got you." And I'm like right behind him, and he's like, "Oh, you have to pay for your own." I was like, "Okay, man."
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck yourself. Go
Yeah,
fuck you.
Right. Well, we walk outside, and there's like these old couples, and I'm feeling great at this point. Old couples are setting like their tasters on this tray that like they come and clean them up, right? And I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna go up and have what they were having. So I just finish all their shooters with another random guy from the bachelor party, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, you should have bought my drink." And he's like, "Okay, well." Oh, and then and then getting out of there. Funniest thing. So I was telling JP because I was sitting with JP in the back of this truck the entire time, and I'm like, "Hey, next time you roll up to someone, roll down your window, ask the next person to like roll down their window too, and then just roll it up, and then we'll drive away." It's hilarious. I've done it before. So I asked him to roll it down, and there's a lady in the back of this sedan. And he rolls his window down, and I'm like, "Roll it back up." And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Dude, roll it back up. What are we doing?" And so then I'm like, "Fuck, I got to talk to this girl." And I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" Trying to like make conversation. I was like, "Did you have a good time? I see you got a little drink there." And she pulls up this drink. And then I'm like, "Oh, nice. We got a little bottle." And she's like, "Oh, you got a little bottle? Look at mine," and pulls out a handle of Maker's Mark. And I was like, "Dude,
just whip one out bigger than yours."
I just got shriveled up so quickly, dude. And she said, "Yeah, I was with my parents," and just drove away. And she was like 35. She had to been like 10 years older than us.
That's pretty lame. I
mean, who's lamer? Me with 3 other dudes, or her with her parents?
Her drinking by herself in the back of her parents' car with her parents.
All right,
it's an easy one. You drinking with your butt with
my
boys?
butt?
With your butt? You did do that.
Whoa.
You drinking with the boys or drinking with your parents by yourself in the back seat?
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Sip your 99. Shot chaser. Bussy.
Oh, God, have you said that to Bailey since you've been back?
No.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, come on, dude. I taught Ryan about what a bussy is. He had no idea. And the entire trip.
I didn't.
The entire trip, all he's just joking around was bussy, which I get it because when my sister-in-law taught me about it, I was doing the same thing. So I get it. It's
like a toddler. When a toddler learns a new word, they only use that word.
And it just rolls off the tongue and lips just so beautifully. So, and then that was kind of it, right? Like, what did we do the next day? Went home.
Yeah, the next day was literally pack up, get McDonald's, drive.
Oh yeah, and
that was it.
The only funny moment. So I got to go take a shit really bad that morning. I don't know why I didn't before I left because I'm usually good about that. Well, we were drinking all weekend, so like it was just beer shits basically. Yeah. And we go into this gas station. Well, I was about to walk up in this gas station, and there's this young feller trying to get out of this place. And like he's pushing on each of the doors. He keeps pushing or pulling. And he's like, what? He's like, what is, he doesn't say what is going on, but he keeps trying each door and keeps pulling. And like, I'm like, what are you doing? So I just walk up and grab the handle and just pull it open. And he's like, thank you so much. And I'm like, dude, like, if it's not opening by you pulling, what's your next option typically on a door?
Call 911.
That was him. He's like, I'm never getting out of here. I'm staying in this gas station forever.
I live here now.
Yeah.
I live here now.
So I just pulled it open. That guy was just like, what
Thank
sorcery
you.
was that?
He's like,
dude?"
how'd you do that?
Yeah. I was like, maybe next time just
He's like, do you
push.
work here? Do you have a
Just
key?
push. Just push. There are only two options in a door.
He left that fucking gas
Just-
station like
Destroyed.
he's like, I want to immediately forget this fucking moment in my life.
Yeah. Basically.
Some stranger had to let me out of the gas station.
You had two options, push or pull. And he kept falling.
And he failed.
He kept falling.
And
On
you
both
kept
doors.
failing. Kept failing.
Like, pull, move to the next door. Pull, failed again. Go back to the
He's like,
original door.
maybe if I
pull one more
maybe if
time.
I try and pull again.
Yeah, I'm like,
You know what? It has to be a third time that I have to pull it.
oh gosh, that's so funny. Yeah.
And he's just like, after that, he's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do here.
Yeah.
Hopefully someone lets me out. Luckily you were there to let him out.
No, that guy would have been stranded there forever. It was a good time. It was
Fucking
one of the I was really the bachelor trips I've gone on, it's just like it's a blackout weekend. That weekend was really nice just to kind of like, hey, we're all like 30 and plus, and it was like cool to just, get some drinks, get a little buzz, get a little drunk, but it wasn't like let's make sure by the end of the night we're all puking sort of things. That's something that I typically
Yeah, and losing people.
do with like my friend group. And I was like, I just told Deb when I got home, I was like, wow, what a fresh breath air.
Breath of fresh air.
Yeah. It's so nice just to chill a little bit and just enjoy it for what it was instead of just like forgetting everything. So it was great.
Yeah.
Great trip. Would I have liked more people? Sure. But I think that's when it gets kind of like crazy, like what I'm saying.
Yeah, it'd have been. Actually, I don't know. The rest of the group would have been pretty tame.
Yeah, and that's what Deb was saying. 'Cause she's like, when I was telling her, like, just going back through everything, she's like, "Well, he met you, and he met you have this like weird causation with people where you just don't like people at the beginning, but then you find out
Yeah, I do.
you don't. You hate people at the beginning, but then they end up being like some of your
I wonder what that
best
is.
friends. You're defensive. You don't want to fall into any trap. I'm just gonna throw this out there. I think you've no, I don't think that's the case. I think you've may have been burned once or twice in your life by people.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna
Maybe.
throw any specific names out there, but you just want to trust people before you let yourself give in a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. That's good. That's great.
That is kind of funny that I have pretty much, except like Cody, Jeff, and Joe. I met them when I was obviously, in grade school. So
Yeah, that's
you don't just like hate somebody and become friends with them in grade
No.
school. You just kind of like hang out with them.
you have this huge wall, and people have to knock that shit down
Yeah.
before you're like, oh hey,
Oh, you're a good
we
person.
like
We're good
you.
friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, you, David, a little bit of GIF, and JP for sure.
Yeah, good people. I couldn't put GIF on a picture if I saw them, so I don't know.
You couldn't pick him out of a picture.
Sure, we'll go with that one. But yeah, all in all, it was a great bachelor trip. It was
It was, dude. Survived it.
it wasn't like I got out of a boat and just fell flat on my face or anything. So I can appreciate that.
Into the rocks. Yeah.
Yeah, just an almost.
I can appreciate that too.
That was crazy. But I don't even know if I can transition this into anything else because I think this is it.
That's fine, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
fine.
I know for people that do listen to us on a regular basis, and by the way, my shout out to my brother Neil. He says he thoroughly enjoys the podcast, being a little looser. We're still kind of like
He does like them loose, doesn't
he
he?
likes them just gaping loose, Anyways,
Mhm.
just on that faction, I think it's we don't know where this podcast is going, whether we want to do it like this or we want to still talk about theories and whatnot. But I don't know. I think that's for us to decide, and
I think we'll dabble in both.
I think so. I think it's
because there's still a lot of stuff that we want to talk
We do.
about, but it's been like, dude, like I literally got the week before the trip, I got sick, which was Memorial Weekend. I got sick, got over being sick, and had a little congestion on the trip. And then I get back from the trip, and I worked a shit ton this past week, and literally just got sick again. Had to go to urgent care.
Jeez, dude.
And they fucking were like, yeah, I don't have like nothing like crazy, but they're like, yeah, you got tonsillitis. You're going to have to take antibiotics and fucking steroid, keep that inflammation down. I was like, dude, God, good Lord.
Bro,
man.
what are you
Like,
shoving down your throat, dude?
I don't know, dude. Nothing. I
Are
mean,
you
I just-
sure about that? Are you sure
Yeah.
about that?
I am sure.
Okay.
Nothing unidentified goes in this mouth.
Yeah, we know. Brick wall over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just going to start
Sorry.
calling you emotional brick wall.
It's a hell of a nickname. Hello, emotional brick wall.
Evie Dubs. Kind of like it. It's got a good ring to it.
I don't like it.
He's like, yeah, that's what I expect from Evie Dubs.
It's something EB Dubs would fucking say. Fucking weirdo. Well, what's on tap? What do we got? What do we got going on? We've just been like, I just feel like we've been so like under the radar past couple
Yeah,
weeks.
I don't know.
We're gonna try to get back to some regularity
Yeah,
here.
it's got to be once, twice a week sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, life just happens, and get busy, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's summer. Everyone's like off work, or kids are off work, or kids are out of school.
Kids are off.
Kids are off work.
Kids aren't in the mines right,
Right,
now.
like pull them out, give them a couple months to breathe before we sit them back down.
Yeah.
Now, there is a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we talked about the Trump indictment, housing crisis. This is the first time in like over a year that the Fed didn't increase the percentage for inflation or whatever they do.
Thank God. And then we also got the
Just in time for election time. No conspiracy theory there.
Yep. Well, then we also got Hunter Biden, the Hunter Biden shit with Ukraine and Burisma. That stuff's starting to come
I
out
know.
more.
There's a lot going on in
There's a
our
lot of
world,
stuff.
and I don't know. Like the more I read into it, the more I'm pissed off, the more I'm depressed, and it just makes me really sad, to be honest. I just feel like we lived in a. There's a lot of good things in this world, but I think there's more negatives than what we see. I just feel like, dude, our generation, Gen Z, we're set up for failure, and we're just coping with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my.
I feel like it's our generation that's going to be. It's got to be the one. We're going to be the ones that turn the
I
tide.
think so. Yeah. What?
I don't think Gen Z has the fucking stones.
No, but hear me out. I think Gen Z's you and kind of like us, because we're on like the ass end. We're not on the ass end. We're still in the middle of it because we've been living through crisis after crisis. I mean, talk about we got 9/11, and then 2008 with the housing crisis. The war in Iraq
Couple of
just
wars.
kept going on and on and on. Another recession hit. It's just like nothing has like gone our way. Nothing's like really been like, wow, I feel really positive about our future. It's just the more and more. I don't know, and maybe this is how like prior generations thought is like nothing's going right. We got to fight for it. But it's like it just feels like the people that are in like the top of power. And I'm talking like 1%. I'm not talking about anyone that's making like I don't even care, like even $100 million a year, which is a lot of money. Aren't the problems? It's like the people that are. Well, maybe that's a lot.
BlackRock.
Those Vanguard, BlackRock, those guys. We should talk about that in our future podcast because
Here we go, baby.
like people
Get the ball rolling.
People in like France that are protesting. You see what they did to BlackRock, the like HQ in France. They like stormed it and burned it. I don't know if they burned it down, but they at least like did something to it. Because they want to increase the retirement rate to I think 64. Shit, there goes my camera.
Here it comes back though. There we go.
Which is crazy because that whole country was like uprising for 2 years, and like in ours, and it does. You don't even have like, hey, this is when you should retire. It's like when Social Security benefits at I think 67. Can you imagine working until you're 67 in this country?
No,
my camera, but
saying fuck it to the camera. Oh, you're coming back in. Okay.
I was.
There he is.
Recorded my camera. I don't know.
What is happening with Sam? There he is.
We're just gonna have to finish this without video, and that's fine.
Okay. We're going to video.
I don't know, but there's got to be something that's got to change. And it ain't Gen X. They had their time. It ain't boomers. They fucked us to a degree. Not blaming every to a degree. I'm not blaming every boomer because you guys can't do anything about what was going on. And most boomers can't, right? They were just taking advantage of what they had, but the people in power weren't good. People.
Yeah, we just don't have good leadership right now, and we keep voting in the same fucking problems.
And Gen X, like you guys, no offense, you guys are hard workers, but you guys are the silent generation for a minute because you guys just like were like, well, whatever. And millennials are pissed. Gen Z.
That's what I'm
saying.
Gen
Z woke up and said, there ain't no chance we're making it at all, sort of thing. So, I don't know. It'd be a good conversation to have. And I'd like to actually bring more people into the conversation. I'd love to see someone from, someone from both political sides, or if anyone wants to chime in. I keep hearing from my friends, at least. I don't know about you. Oh, I want to be on the podcast. I want to talk about 9/11 or whatever. Welcome to have you on. We got the equipment, and really, all you need is a
internet connection,
decent mic. Talking like a $40, $50 mic. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I don't know how much this mic costs, but you gave it to me, and I still use it to this day. And
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I'll never pay you for it.
It was a gift.
It was the rest of that whiskey that wasn't there, right?
Yeah. The other half of that Suntory. There you go. So,
anyways, love doing these podcasts. I miss actually doing them for real.
So did I, dude. I'm glad we did this one, even if it was just, a one-off.
Yeah.
Talking about just having a silly goose time.
Yes.
But we'll get back into some of the meat and potatoes of conspiracies and controversies.
Yeah, we need to.
Like we do.
Go ahead and end it.
All right.
We're done.
That's it.
Bye.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in again. We'll try and get back to our regularity. Let's drop an episode, at least try to do an episode a week. Maybe we'll sprinkle in a twofer here and there, but we'll get back on track and keep the content pushing. God dang it. Fucking VPN. All right. But yeah, dude. And we'll also get back to, the streaming too, because I know that's kind of fallen off a little bit too. But like you said, dude, life happens. We get busy.
Get some more views on your YouTube stuff. So
on the tube. Yeah.
Gotta start somewhere, Yeah,
it's been fun. But I think this is episode 22. It's gonna be really embarrassing if I upload this and it's not episode 22 and I've only talked about episode 22, but it is what it is.
Check really quick.
Why don't you check really quick so then I can correct it Live.
It is episode 20.
Hold my breath.
20.
I can't hold my breath that long.
Where's my video? Your videos. Oh, there we go. Out of here. Guess what?
All right.
It's 22.
What? Let's go.
Good job.
Episode 22. Thanks for tuning in. Anything else you got to say?
No, love you guys.
All right.
As always.
We love you. Thanks for support, and we'll see you.
Congratulations, you've made it to the end. You might as well tune in for the next episode of Indecent Exposure. That's all, folks. Until next time, Space Cowboy.